They say that you can never have too much of a good thing, but is that always the case? Would you rather have 3 Lindor chocolates or 13 100 grands? The Legend of Zelda is one of the most prominently represented franchises in Super Smash Bros., with a wide music selection plus remixes, tons of items, and lots of stages. Maybe too many stages. The Zelda franchise also has the 4th highest number of characters out of any represented in Smash, with 6 reps in Smash Ultimate. So why am I making this video instead of why The Legend of Zelda deserves less? Honestly, the Zelda franchise deserves as much representation in Smash as it has because it's one of Nintendo's longest standing IPs, and the high level of quality the franchise has maintained throughout the years is only rivaled by Mario. Yes, I even like Skyward Sword somewhat. It gave us Skyward Sword Zelda, okay? This video isn't going to be about the series needing more stages or even more characters really, but the Legend of Zelda franchise in Smash has a big problem that needs to be talked about. The Legend of Zelda's character pool in Smash is the 100 grand of the series. You'll find some people that like some of their movesets, but the group has easily the most boring and outdated movesets of any franchise in the series with multiple reps. They're just not good. So what caused this problem? Why does one of Nintendo's most iconic IPs have such an underwhelming collection of fighters in Smash? Where the hell is Breath of the Wild 2? Who thought giving Tingle his own game was a good idea? I can keep asking questions. I have nothing but love for Masahiro Sakurai for what he's done with the Smash Bros. Franchise, and it seems like he's even gone to bat for the competitive community in his own way. But I still think a lot of the Zelda franchise's poor character design in Smash falls on his shoulders. The condition of the Zelda franchise in Smash is a byproduct of Sakurai's design philosophy inadvertently hurting The Legend of Zelda's character representation in the series. Since Smash 64, Sakurai has included clone characters as extra playable fighters on the roster that play similarly to another character because they required less development time. The idea is nice in theory because it allows more characters the opportunity to be included on the roster, but at the cost of not having their own soul. This is how we ended up with Marth, Fire Marth, Girl Marth, and now Dad Marth, but the Legend of Zelda franchise has been a victim of this design decision just as much. 3 out of the 6 Zelda characters in Smash were originally clones, with both Young Link and Toon Link originating from Link, and Ganondorf's moveset being copied from Captain Falcon because f*** you. It feels like Sakurai wanted to include more Legend of Zelda characters in Smash because of the franchise's popularity, but he kept waiting to work on their movesets until the last minute like a high schooler trying to find a prom date. But once a character is added to the roster and makes a return in future games, they get their own moveset, right? Surely they wouldn't just plug the hole and do it again. Sometimes. Why is the answer sometimes? Sakurai has stated that he dislikes overhauling character movesets in new games for fear of alienating players that enjoy a character's current playstyle. As much as I find Sonic's moveset boring and a poor representation of the character, I can at least understand why it stayed the same since there isn't an alternative if Sakurai were to change Sonic's moveset. But what's the excuse for the Legend of Zelda characters? If Ganondorf's moveset were to change, you could still play as Falcon, and if Young Link and Toon Link changed movesets, you could still play Link. This philosophy seems selective as former clones like Luigi and Falco gradually became their own fighters with each new Smash game, and the Zelda clones have remained mostly unchanged. I get that the Zelda franchise is hard to keep up to date in Smash because the franchise changes dramatically in each new installment, but then you should treat each character as a time capsule for various games in the series. Sakurai tried to do this somewhat in Ultimate with Link representing Breath of the Wild, Zelda being in her Link Between Worlds style, and Ganondorf in his Ocarina of Time form. The aesthetic changes were a great idea, but every moveset still feels like it was pulled from Ocarina of Time. Or F-Zero. They keep changing Zelda's appearance in every Smash game to represent her latest look in the series, despite her moveset still being from Ocarina of Time. Din's Fire, Nehru's Love, and Farore's Wind are all magic spells Link used in the game, but are awarded to him by one of the 7 sages, with Zelda being the leader of the group. Speaking of magic, Zelda's original down B in Melee and Brawl gave her the ability to transform into an actually viable character. Sakurai decided to split up transformation characters in Smash 4, so this was his opportunity to give Zelda a brand new move. He gave her a phantom to camp behind from everyone's favorite Zelda game, Spirit Tracks. Remember when Zelda was a ghost that hung out in suits of armor? Maybe the franchise isn't as consistent as I thought. Temple of the Ocean King. I get that there wasn't much else to go on for Zelda at the time, but that decision already looks outdated. If it were up to me, I would overhaul Zelda's moveset to work around the Sheik slate like in Age of Calamity. With remote bombs, magnesis, stasis, and cryonis attacks at her disposal, there would be plenty for Sakurai to work with to make Zelda a brand new moveset. The Breath of the Wild branch of the Zelda franchise spans over multiple games now, with Breath of the Wild 2 not coming out anytime soon it seems like, so why not celebrate it in a full moveset for Zelda? But seriously, where the hell is Breath of the Wild 2? I need it! It's crazy to me that the only changes Link received in his moveset to represent Breath of the Wild were a different bomb and not grabbing with a claw shot anymore. These feel more like cop-out changes to justify young Link not being an Echo fighter in his return to the roster, than the dev team wanting to make significant changes to Link's moveset as a tribute to Breath of the Wild. Alright, let's change Link's moveset for Smash Ultimate. Perfect! Of all the Zelda series characters, it would have made the most sense for Link's moveset to stay the same because he uses the bow, boomerang, bombs, and hero spin regularly throughout the franchise. I would have sooner had Toon Link and Young Link's movesets change instead, but apparently Sakurai looks at updating their movesets like redoing old YouTube videos. You already did the work, so why do it again? There are small variations between the three Links, like Toon Link having different aerials and Young Link's fire arrows being f***ing broken, but overall, they play frustratingly similar. I'm totally fine with both of them being in the game since they represent different eras of the Zelda franchise, but these eras are hardly portrayed in their movesets at all. Being introduced into Smash as clone characters stuck them into the box of Link from Ocarina of Time ripoffs and provided nothing new to the series. If they were introduced into Smash properly, Young Link could rotate through his masks from Majora's Mask a la Pokemon Trainer, and Toon Link could utilize items specific to his games like the Megaton Hammer, Deku Leaf, and Wind Waker. The Wind Waker could work like Raster from Rivals of Aether and create wind currents for Toon Link to combo off of. Good luck not making that toxic in Smash though. It says a lot that the best represented Zelda character is the one that only appears in Ocarina of Time for 20 minutes worth of cutscenes. Sheik's moveset remains timeless because the character hasn't appeared in another Legend of Zelda game besides Hyrule Warriors. What's interesting is that Sheik has received some of the most significant moveset changes of the Zelda cast in Smash, getting 2 new special moves in Bouncing Fish and Burst Grenade in Smash 4. Somehow Sheik got even better after being separated from Zelda.
That is better! Now I will be able to move freely!
What's funny is that even with the very little source material available for Sheik at the time, they still didn't use it in her moveset at all. Sheik's defining feature in Ocarina of Time was using her harp to teach Link songs, but we have yet to get even so much as a taunt to reference this.
Hey, at least Sakurai now lets Ganondorf use his sword for his taunts and his smash attacks.
Get out!
Okay.
There are 3 certainties in life: death, taxes, and being disappointed in Ganondorf's Smash Bros. Moveset. Of all the clone characters to exist in Smash's history, Ganondorf being added to Melee as a Captain Falcon clone is both the most confusing choice and the most depressing. What went on at Nintendo HQ that led to the decision of the King of Evil playing second banana to a race car driver?
Okay, sir, we're getting close to finishing Super Smash Bros. Melee, but we have a couple slots left. I was thinking we make a clone character for Captain Falcon. Any ideas?
Let's see. Ganondorf it is!
What? Why not just use Blood Falcon from F-Zero?
Wizard's foot!
I don't know what that means.
I'd say the reasoning behind Ganondorf not getting a proper moveset was because his only appearance not as Pig Ganon at that point was in Ocarina of Time, but that didn't stop Sakurai from basing every other Zelda character in Smash off of that game. Plenty could have been pulled from Ganondorf's boss battles in the game, such as his projectile, a reflector to offset his slow run speed, a hover, and of course swordplay. A lot of these features for the King of Evil endured across Zelda titles, so the moveset would have stayed up to date. The Project M development team must have thought the same thing and incorporated both the hover and reflector into Ganon's moveset. I'm glad that Ganondorf is finally able to use his sword outside of a taunt and ultimate, but Sakurai still has a long way to go to give the King of Evil a moveset that does him justice. At the rate we're going, maybe he'll get new special moves by Super Smash Bros. 10. I know I said we wouldn't talk about new characters, but it's worth mentioning that the Zelda franchise hasn't added anyone to the Smash roster since Brawl. Where is Impa? Where are any villains from the Zelda franchise not named Ganondorf like Vati, King Boblin? Oh, there he is. Zant, Skull Kid. Oh, there he is too. Demise or Girahim. Oh, there he is. I see the problem now.
Oh, do ya?
I would have killed for Midna and Wolf Link to be added as a playable character when Twilight Princess came out, but we have definitely missed the window of opportunity on that one. It feels like the dev team rushed to put a bunch of Zelda characters into the early Smash titles as last-minute additions, and now the franchise is bogged down by unoriginal movesets. I get that most of the suggestions I made in this video are unrealistic, but I don't think that many players would object to at least a moveset overhaul for Ganondorf. The Legend of Zelda franchise is constantly changing with new visuals, characters, and mechanics in every title, but the character movesets feel incredibly stale to me in Smash Bros. The Zelda items, music, and stages have continued to be updated, so why have the characters barely been touched? If the franchise's characters hadn't been front-loaded into the early Smash titles, I'm sure we've gotten some really cool movesets that celebrated the franchise's extensive history. Unfortunately, the dev time that would go into overhauling the movesets for Zelda characters that need them will likely go to new additions to the roster instead. Hopefully one day the Zelda franchise can get another full-fledged character, either by the end of Fighter Pass 2, or one day in Smash 6, and not just another clone.
Allow me to introduce a brand new Echo Fighter.
Gee, it sure is boring around here.
Why?